Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bomkhulu. Libitso laka ke nna Mary Jane Bila. Igama lami lamadlozi ngumthengwa kaNqowane. The purpose for the videos that I'm gonna post is only to just let you know more about myself and take you through my life, my journey, how I came about realizing Guti I'm gifted. How did it lead me to accepting my calling, the difficulties and challenges that I came across during the process of accepting my calling, the challenges that I had faced even before I accepted the calling or knew that I had a calling, the challenges that I faced at Pehlweni, and the challenges that I'm still dealing with even now once I'm done with Twasa and Bunyangabam and everything, that I'm completely a graduate. So I'm just going to take you through my life. It's going to just be a breakdown of Impilo Yami as a gifted child, and the challenges that my family also had to encounter throughout my life and throughout my journey as well. I'm not going to talk about Uguti, what are the signs, Uguti, Amakendle, dreams and all that. Not that you cannot ask me. You can ask me down below, Guma comments, Uguti, what does this mean? What does that mean? And everything, and we can discuss. Obviously, it's an open channel where anybody can believe their opinion and all so forth. The reason why I'm not going to be doing any teachings where I'm just going to take through people my life, my journey and everything, it's because solemnly there's so many great spiritual people, or sangomas, if need be said, that are already doing that are already teaching. One of the great people that's doing that is ubaba wami uMoyane Kankosi, and also ugogo Dineo Ndlanzi, ugogo Moyo, ugogo Mpho Yabadimu. There's other more that obviously I would love to mention, but so many of them, they're doing such a wonderful job in teaching, answering your questions, making you understand traditionally how does these things work, amadlozi, how does it work, trying to venture everything so that everything makes sense to people, and people understanding on a level of now, the 21st century, where things have changed so much from back in the day to now. I'm also still learning so much from these great people, especially Ukobela Wamu Baba Moyane Kankosi. So please subscribe into their channels, please talk to them, please ask any questions. They're there to help you, they're there to help you grow, they're there to also make you see who you are and realize that you were born for the great child of the soil. So let's start with me. I was born and bred in the Free State, where I stayed with my mom and dad for quite some time, until I was like at the age of 4. My mom and dad, unfortunately, had to divorce based on adult people stuff that I didn't even want to know about, because I was so young anyway, and I also don't want to know about them now that I've grown up. So we left and went back to Siyohlala Gogo, of which is still in the Free State, in a small town called Bothaville, where I stayed with my grandmother, my mother, and my uncle as well. And then shortly later, some few years later, maybe 2 to 3 years later, Umama got remarried to my wonderful dad. So my stepfather, of which he's a wonderful father. So Umama married my dad, and we went to stay with Ubaba. And we're a family, we were happy, and everything. Growing up, I was a very isolated child, so I can say, because not that people would isolate me, or not that people didn't want me around. I was isolated because I'd isolate myself, because I had a sense of not belonging in particular spaces at a particular time. I mean, at a tender age of 8, I did not have friends. I could not go to the street and play with other children, because I felt like I was more older than that, or I was more mature than that, or I could make more sense of the world around me and the surroundings better than they could. Not that I was smarter, it's just that how they would see things as children was not how I could see things as a child, because at that tender age I would have dreams, and the same dreams would come true. So I would realize that there is more that I know, or I'm opened into another world that other people cannot see. I was a very strange child because growing up, umama, my diet, he would laugh when I tell you this, my diet would only consist of ipap and pumpkin or pap and milk. And the milk has to come from the farm itself. It has to be freshly milked out of a cow. Not EBC processed. I could not eat that because the minute they buy that and they put in my food and they did not even tell me ukuthi EBC zange salithola kulo mlungu othengisa ibisi elibuya ema-farm, I would vomit. So my diet was just ipap and pumpkin. I did not eat meat at that tender age. I grew up a very strange child, to an extent where umama got so tired of my behavior because even ubaba failed to understand, because remember, he doesn't know me that well, so he could not understand why I behaved like that. So they took me and I stayed with my grandmother. And fortunately, ugogo did understand me for some reason. Although me and her, we'd never really had a conversation or any form of communication regarding my behavior or why I do certain things or how I do certain things. Why am I talking to myself all the time? Why do I want to sit on the floor when I eat and not on a chair or on the couch? So it was some of the things that nobody even ever asked me growing up. I would see, Ntombi, why are you doing this or why are you doing that? Because I think they would also see that what we're dealing with here, it's bigger than us. And because Gabo Mama in my maternal home, they did not believe kulezi zinto zamasangoma based on the previous experiences that they had nalezi zinto zamangoma. So it was one thing that you could not even bring up ukuthi ngiphuphe igubhu or ngiphuphe isangoma, ngiphuphe umuntu othile, ngiphuphe ubuhlalo obuthile. That would be utter disrespect to them, and you would get a hiding of your life. So I remember a time umalume wami became mentally unstable when I was 13 years old. And by then, because he was mentally unstable, funny enough, I was the only person who could get along with him, because what he was going through, talking to himself, laughing to himself, making sense of everything else that everybody can see, I could relate to that because I was going through the same thing. Although I was not so loud and outspoken about what I could see and what other people cannot see at that young age, because I did not want to say things because then they're going to think that I'm crazy or I'm going through something. So I was always scared to even tell ugogo ukuthi gogo, njengoba sihleli kanje ngibona into ethile, or I see the roof opening up, I see something walking inside, or ngibona into ethile, or I see a snake sitting there, or I see imbuzana ibophiwe, or I see whatever. So I did not want to do those things because I was so scared. Remember, I was young. Unfortunately enough, these things never affected my schooling. It actually made me going to school and learning and passing through my grades quite easy, because they never even understood ukuthi wena upasa kanjani because we've never seen you study. I would come home, I would be sitting there, I would wash izinto zami, ishirt lami, amakawusu, ngipolish icathulo. When I'm done doing that, I go sit at the back and I start talking to these people. I never study, so going to school, writing exams, I was very bright and I was able to make my grades and perform to the best. And nobody even ever understood how am I doing it, because I remember one teacher also asked Baba, umntanakho, do you teach her? Do you sit down with her and teach her? Because the things she's doing there at school, they are amazing even to us as teachers. And he was like, maybe she's just smart by nature. Of which I don't think it was solemnly me. I don't think I was doing that by myself. For some reason, growing up, I was paying attention and giving attention to amadlozuam, although I did not know that they were there. So as far as me neglecting some things or not being able to pay attention to certain things because I was paying attention to them, they kind of compensated in that, because now here she is talking to us, because I would have crazy conversations with these people that I didn't even know. And the funny thing is, they would respond to me. If I asked them something, they would respond and tell me, no, it doesn't work like that, it works like this and this and that. So I grew up like that, and umama sending me away because she was getting tired of my behavior, rather how I handled myself. I remember there was a time where there was a funeral Gabo Mama at my maternal home, and we went funeral. Kabo mama, I have a lot of cousins, but we almost the same age group. The difference is usually 1 year or a couple of months, so we can also all relate to each other because we are in the same age group. I remember they were saying that we need to sit after the funeral, as a family, because we see each other after so long, because we are such a small family, but we are scattered all over. So immediately when they sat and started talking, chit-chatting, I sat there like I was a visitor, because whatever they were talking to, I could not relate. I felt like I don't belong. I felt like I'm wasting my time. I felt like these people, I don't want to be here, I just didn't want to be there. I wanted to be alone and talking to these people that I could not see, but I could hear, The urge of talking to myself as I grew became stronger and stronger and stronger, to a certain time where my mom actually gave me a hiding because she found me talking and laughing to myself, and she was so mad. I remember that day she told me that I am not gonna raise ihlanya mina ngeke ngizale umntwana asuke lapha angijikele ahlanye, uyabo. So because I was young, man, growing up, going to school, ngapha ukhuluma uyi-1, and then on the other side you have this pressure from family, why are you doing things like this? Why are you not like other children? Why don't you go? Because I couldn't see myself doing that. That was me growing up in a nutshell. So Ugogo understood me. I think she accepted me more than understanding me, because I believe if she understood me, she could have at some point asked me, why ukhuluma uyi-1? Why ufuna ukuthi soloko mawudla uhlale phansi? Why soloko kumele udle certain things only? Why ungamelanga udle inyama? Why uvuka mid-mornings and talk? I think she did not understand. It was just that she had accepted my behavior because already Ukoko had a child that was mentally unstable. So this wasn't something that was familiar to her, that maybe my granddaughter is also going through the same thing that my son is going through. It's just that yele kamzukulu ayikakabi bad ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi uhambe estradini nahleka ayi-1. And I would sit there and ask questions. Uguti, why am I here? Uguti, what is my purpose in life? Am I ever going to be successful? Ask certain things. But then to me, it seemed like it's normal, because I believe that any child at any point of their life, they're asking themselves those questions. And the funny thing is that when they would ask me, I would say, I don't know. I don't know. What do I want to become in life? Ask me today, what do you want to become? I don't know. But one thing that I know is that I'm a doctor. Although I'm not a doctor that people are used to, I'm this doctor. And I'm happier here, because I feel like I belong better than when I was in school. I'm not saying going to school was a waste of time. I'm just saying that I felt like every lecture that I had, I just wanted that hour to be over and done with, and I'd be out of there, and I'd be in my room talking to myself, until such a time where umama said to Gogo, I think mele sithathe uMary simse esontweni lama Christian church. I got there. I didn't have a problem because I didn't know anything. She was my mother, and she was the adult. And I had to listen, and I had to respect her, and follow the instructions as she gives them out. We would go to church, they would pray for me because babona ukuthi I'm possessed and all that and all that and all that. And umama, in her anger, I remember blaming ubaba. Ukuthi, ubaba lo mntana lo, where they come from, umntana lo mkhulisa amnikeza indwangu. I had Masela, le white, le plain, le red, le plain, le two Amandao, the maroon and white one, and the blue, purplish blue. There's the blue one, it is stripes, scotch and white. On my next video, I'll come with the cloths, and then I'll show you which clothes I was talking about. And then she said that if he had not done this to my child, probably she wouldn't be going through what she's going through. you know. So at some point she took the blame and put it on my father. And now my dad was not there to answer for himself, you know. He was not there to guide me through whatever I was going through at that tender age I was at. You know, at some point I resented him because I felt like with my mom doesn't want me, she doesn't love me, she can't accept me for who I am. So it could have been better if Bengihlala nobaba, because he would know what to do, or he would know what's happening, because I felt that I belonged to my dad. I felt for some reason he never raised me. I never had a relationship with my father, but all my life growing up I always cried for my dad because I felt like I belonged more with my dad than with my mother. And he died when I was so young, you know. I didn't get a chance to talk to him and actually have him formally or informally so tell me more about the culture or the tradition, because he was very deeply rooted in his culture and his traditions. Because I do learn a bit from my brothers and when I go visit Ekaya in Mozambique. But I feel like it could have been, I felt like growing up, I felt like it could have been different if Beyenza or Baba, you know, all those things. So the one thing I learned from my childhood in this regard is that we need to pay more attention. Now that I'm a mother, I understand what I was going through when I was young. And I wouldn't want that for my children, you know. I feel that as Abu Mama, traditionally or spiritually or however you want to say it, you know, pay attention to those small things that your children are doing. Pay attention to those little things that your children are inquisitive about. Trust me, you'll save your child a whole lot of trouble and yourself as well. Because the sad thing is, ukhulise umntwana, and umntwana is going through all these things. And one thing you say to that child is, umntwana usile lo. Uyabona? Mabantu bakutshela ukuthi umntwana akho usitshela izinto lana. And we don't understand what this just child is talking about. Usile lo mntana lo. Usile lo mntana. It's not that mntana usile. There might be more going on with your child. Give your child a chance to live. Give your child a chance to enjoy their childhood. It might not be a normal one, but the same one that's unique and different in its own way. Let them enjoy it. Because if we are not gonna accept what they're going through and acknowledge what is happening to your child and try to work around whatever your child is going through and work through it with your child, trust me, it leaves a deep wound. Because remember, although then I did not know that I had the gift or the calling, already my calling and my gift was rejected by my mother, you know. Because I feel like if we do that for our children, we're saving them a whole lot of trouble. Because some things I wouldn't have gone through, some things I wouldn't have had to deal with if by that point my mother saw things in a different way. This is what she's going through. Let me help her. Let me try and understand what is happening to her. You know, if I felt that if my mom had done that and she was not consumed by the fear and the opinions and all the stigma of Uguti, or rather the thoughts zokuthi mawisa ngoma uzohlupheka, mawisa ngoma uyancola, mawisa ngoma wenza izinto ezimbi. We all practice differently. We all do things differently. There's people who are not amasangoma, but they decided ukuthi bafuna ukuncola bona all the time. They don't want to be clean, but they are not amasangoma. There's people bangekho amasangoma, but bayahlupheka still, you know. It's unfortunately everybody's destination. It's everybody's route to pass through some things to get where your people and God want you to be. So my conclusion in my childhood and the struggles that I faced dealing with what I was dealing with by myself, with nobody to talk to, with nobody to say, I might not know what you're going through, but I am here and I want to go through it with you, is that now that I have kids, I would not want my children to go through anything by themselves. Because even though I might not know or I might not understand what is it they're dealing with, at least I will have them walk whatever they're going through or deal with whatever with me by their side, holding their hands and saying to them all the time, you might not understand it, but it's okay. Because sometimes a child can be going through a phase. For example, you might think, mntanami possessed manje. It might be just a phase. Your ancestors are trying to reach through you. They're trying to talk to you. But the only way to get to you is through your child. Angithi bathi isitha, if siyakufuna and isitha sidala sikulwisa but asikutholi, sizoza ebantwaneni bakho. We understand. So sometimes we are so clouded as adults. We are so clouded with everything else that's happening around us. The responsibilities, the day-to-day things that we need to do, that we cannot even hear namadlozi mabakhuluma nathi. You understand? You sleep. When you wake up, you don't even give yourself 5 minutes to actually go through the night to my dreams. Okay. Breathe. Channel back the spirit with the body. Breathe and actually go through what happened through the night when I was sleeping. That is how some of the things you can remember your dreams. But I'm not talking about that. So we don't give ourselves that. When it's 5 o'clock, we jump out of bed, we wake up, we wake the kids up, we bath. So sometimes amadlozi wakho might just trying to get your attention. The child might not be possessed. It might just be your ancestor saying, we're trying to pass a message through to you, or we want something from you, but you are not hearing us. So So when the child starts doing these things that you don't know, or these behaviors, your attitude towards this, usile mntana lona, usile mhlambe uyabhema, mhlambe ini ustoti, mabakubiza esikolweni ukuthi umntana wakho akaza concentrate in class, umntana nje umntana. You just shout at the child, you scold the child, you don't try to understand ukuthi mntanami, what could be the problem. Sometimes umntana akabhemi, sometimes it's not even about ukuthi umntana ustoti or there's an influence, or sometimes it's not even that ukuthi umntana ufuna ubaba wakhe. It's not even that. Sometimes you just need to sit your child down, and if your child is not able to actually interpret what is happening to them, tell them that when this thing starts, come to me, talk to me. And if you don't know how to deal with it, go out there. There is help. There is help. There's a lot. Like I've mentioned a few people when I started my videos, that there's a lot of teachers that are here on YouTube that are available for you to come and see them and say, okay, umntanami is going through this and this and this. What could be the problem? Trust me, it will not happen ukuthi amadlozi angene emntwaneni wakho and then they would say umntana loyo kumele athwase ana 5 years, or lo mntwana loyo kumele athwase ana 12. There are ways of which sicela kumadlozi ukuthi umntana omncane sicela nimnikeze isikhathi umntwana aqede isikolo. Umntwana makase kaqedile isikolo nemali mayisehlangene siyacela, then umntwana will go and adhere to your instructions and go accept your calling, because umntana usasemncane. Umntana ungakhoni nokuzibheka yena, how will they be able to go now bayonakekela amadlozi or go to initiation? And you understand, because now they have to now take care of themselves. Umntana no 6, 7, 8, they are still very young to accept the calling. I am not saying ukuthi people who went batwasa bana 9, 10, it's wrong, but I'm just saying in our days now there's alternatives ukuthi amadlozi ayakuya khulunywa nabo. Remember, amadlozi ikhe yaba abantu abayibaphila la emhlabeni. And trust you me, like I always tell all the people I come across, amadlozi are not as difficult as people think they are. You just need to find a better way to communicate and have the understanding nabo, because it's a give and give situation with amadlozi. So based on my childhood experience, please do not take your child through that. If it were up to me, my mom could have done things differently, but I do not hate her for that. I do not resent her for that. There's a reason for everything, and there's a reason why amadlozi let her maybe did not even come to enlighten her in any form or type. As much as you don't want her to do this, but she has to do it. There's a reason to everything that happens. But I'm just passing through this message to parents, to you that's still gonna be a parent. When you do have your own child, pay attention to your children. It's not everyone that's gonna be a sangoma, because I see your fashion. We might all be on YouTube, siyakhuluma sonke, and although we have different explanations for the same things, because omunye uzokhuluma ngempepho in this way, omunye uzokhuluma ngempepho in the other way, omunye uzokhuluma ngama-candle this way, omunye uzokhuluma ngama-candle this other way. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice. It's a personal decision. Ukuthi mina kusuka la i-candle lami ngizolisebenzisa kanje, kusuka la impepho yami mina ngizoyisebenzisa kanje, ngizoyiphuza ezitiye, ngizogeza ngayo, ngizofutha ngayo, ngizozilapha ngayo. It is entirely up to you. Everyone that is, all the sangomas that are on YouTube, and please, they did not ask me to speak for them. I'm just speaking for them because I love them so much. They are not here to convince you otherwise. They are here to broaden your knowledge about culture, about tradition, about where we come from as Africans. It doesn't mean ukuthi wena, because amadlozi wakho ase Kenya or amadlozi wakho ase Dubai, it does not mean ukuthi ngeke uthwaselela eSouth Africa. It does not mean ukuthi ngeke uthwasiswe ugobela wompedi. Does not mean ngeke uthwasiswe ugobela womZulu. Doesn't mean ngeke uthwasiswe ugobela womSwati. Does not mean ngeke uthwasiswe ugobela womShangane. You can ungathwasa noma kukuphi noma kanjani, as long as where you going, those things they do them, because uyazifumana impande, for example, ezingathwasisi amakhosi, uyazithola impande ezingathwasisi amantshomane, for example. So please, let us remember that we are all a work in progress, and we are all learning from each other. Pay attention to your children. This was just a brief intro to my childhood. And then next time I'll be talking about my teenage days in varsity and how it was. Ngiyabonga, keep well, stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay happy. Ndawo.